Hey, Janaea. I have been needing to talk to you all day long. I can't even begin to tell you the day I've had.
Oh my gosh, what's going on?
Well, so as you know, I started a new job about a month ago, and the building is well over 100 years old. So going into it, I expected there to be, residual energy and just some
Well, wait
stuff.
a second. The business or the work that you started it's kind of like a you just kind of jumped over, but it's kind of gnarly because like
Well,
working with
it's in a
the
funeral
dead,
home.
the
Yeah.
dead,
Well,
it's a big deal.
it's technically I'm helping the living, but it's in a funeral home.
I
So
mean,
yeah.
okay, so the reason why I said that is because I don't even see you working with the living. I mean, I know you do, but I see you working with the
But
people that
yeah,
passed over.
the ones that are
Um,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. It's been interesting. Um, I think I was telling you the last time to ask me about the woman I saw.
Yes. I
Okay.
want to hear about that.
That was my second day, and I was touring a new facility. So just walking through, didn't think anything of it. And there was a service in the chapel that day. And so we didn't get to tour the chapel, we toured everything else. We're standing in this entry room, and the gentleman in charge that was showing us around was, talking. And all of a sudden, I kind of hear this pss, pss, pss. And I'm
Are
like,
you
what?
kidding?
You know,
Like, hey, look over here. And you're like,
yeah. So I'm like, I'm doing one of these things, like, trying not to look.
yeah, yeah.
And then finally, I just kind of took a step back and I look over. There's double doors with glass, and then another set of double doors that go into the chapel. And she literally, this woman, she's so cute. She leans over, like pokes her head out of the double doors. And it's like, I really wish they would stop crying. She goes, well, except for maybe two of them, they can cry harder.
She's like, freaking what? Yeah. No, I'm like, I have so many thoughts on that one. But yes, I hear that, right? Oh my God. So you felt like alive, like she felt like she was like next to you
She was
still.
down the hallway in like another room, like kind of hollering at me. And I'm trying not to laugh because there's so many people around. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't help you right now. And she's like, and she stood back up and then like went back, disappeared
Yeah,
back.
like her same, like, wait, so I'm going to interrupt right now. How do they know that you can see them? And that, do you know what I'm saying? Like, they talk to you, like, okay, so I get a different vibe from the other side than you do. Like, they don't, like, I mean, but I have, like, this is a whole nother episode. We'll do that another time when I was a kid being scared and
Right.
I, like, pushed that away, but I can still feel the people and still feel them. And like, it's interesting how they're like nudging you, but like, I was terrorized by them when I was a kid. They seem to be like all talking to you like they're just still like next to you. And then how do they respond to people that don't see them? And do they know, like, do they see that you have a special power to do that? Like, I just wonder.
Um, well, I think that comes down to, how we're all energy and we vibrate at different levels. And the fact that we all are gifted, whether we choose to acknowledge it or not, it
Yes, we all are.
it goes back to, you have a song stuck in your head and you get in the car and turn it on, and on the radio is that song. It's little things like that that are part of this vibration. So for me, I think that I was afraid as a kid. I shut it down. For many years, I blocked it out. Every time I ever mentioned it to anybody as a child, they all said, "Oh, Gina, you're crazy. Like, don't talk to her." And I was shy anyway. So
Me too.
yeah, I was hiding behind my brother, which is so hard to do. He's like thin like a pencil, and tall, thin, nothing like me, short and round. He is so hard to hide behind him, but that's what I would do. And I blocked it. Eventually, you know, things kept coming through, but when throughout the years, on and off, I'd open back up a little bit and then I'd close it back down. I'd open back up until finally I was like, you know, what am I doing? This is a gift. I should be able to embrace it and, you know, just deal with whatever there is. And I was watching.
I'm going to interrupt you if I hopefully you can like, but what age was that?
When I decided to embrace
it? Just because like I had my own thing. So what age is that?
I don't think I fully embraced it until maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to ask, because it's like, I mean, it's a thing to like, you know, but I don't want to be like sport. I mean, I don't care about I'm 45. I don't care about saying how old I am, but some people don't. But like, was it a while? Like, how long did it take you to like actually, you know what I mean? Like, embrace it. Like, sometimes people.
It took my whole entire life to finally
like when people don't know your whole lifetime, they don't know what that looks like. So I think that like for me, like it's like it took like it was a journey for me, but at the same time, like I fully accepted it at some certain like times in my life.
Yes.
So I think for you too, yeah, like that's just like a monument. Like you're all 3 years ago, I'm like, whoa, that's cool.
That's when I finally was like, you know what? I'm not hiding it anymore. I don't care what people think of me. I'm just going to embrace it. When something comes to me, I'm going to, you know, deal with it at the moment. But I also put up boundaries. I asked for nothing negative, nothing that would scare me. I have had instances where there was some pretty angry, I'll call it a spirit, chasing me down the streets.
Yeah.
That was rough. I had to basically be like, all right, stop. I will leave your area. Just leave me alone and you stay here. I'm out.
So can you talk a little bit about that? Because I mean, we can all watch shows on TV and see that, and like they don't talk about the background, but when you talk to energies, spirits on the other side, some are like hearts and rainbows, some are daggers and pitchforks. So it's like and when you like can see all that and feel all that, like sometimes you don't know the difference until you kind of dive into it a little bit, and then when you do, you're like, okay, wait, get me out, please help me, where's my rope? Like, right, there's some things that come up, and there's some great things too. There's so many like amazing things that come through, but it sounds like you're talking about that. I mean,
well, I'm very empathic. So I feel other people's or energies, you know, the emotions, what they're going through, even if they're coming off incredibly happy and they're like, I'm so wonderful. I know when they're lying.
Well, I was going to say, maybe sometimes there's trickery. They're little trickies.
There's times where I've come across people like that are just like, oh, ha, 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 and happy. And I'm standing there talking to them, starting to cry.
Yeah.
And I realize this isn't mine, this is theirs. So I have to make a conscious effort daily to protect myself from absorbing other people's energies and, you know, behaving accordingly.
So how do you do that then? Like that's like, makes me take a deep breath.
It does.
So like, what does that look like? Because I've had so many times where people as healers and doing the work that I do with my work, they're like, do you protect yourself every day? Every time you see a client, do you like, you know, clear their energy afterwards? Like, no, they're like, bam, 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 after each other. Not necessarily, but it's a good thing to always do.
Yeah, ideally, you'd love to do that. But
exactly.
Quite honestly, a lot of times I forget about it. Because there was
so I would have loved to have like an angel that comes around us. Like I have an angel that does a lot of things for me. My parking angel, my get it done angel, my find it angel. I would love right now, I'm just going to stop us right now and be like, can we both have an angel that just helps us remind us of, Gina, fill in the words, because you said it perfectly.
To protect our energy and from energy vampires,
So
or even
protector angel.
our protective angel. Yeah.
Protect me angel, because I just do like my parking angel, and like people think that sounds like that's so you're wasting an angel to do that, and I'm like, there are you can't, there's like unlimited angels, and it might seem silly to do that, and like that's why I say these things so that people know, like, it might seem silly to you, but I'm not gonna like partake in that, because they tell me I have like very connected, like one of my major like connections is angels, and they will tell me that. And I've had a lot of healers that I've worked with that say they've said the same thing. It's not that I've ever told them what I think, or I've been shown, I should be saying, because I don't think that. It's like I've been shown, hey, I want to help you. And I'm like, I don't want you to help me do, like, I feel like I'm wasting, you could be helping. They're like, they're not asking for my help, you are. And then I'm like, and then they tell me anybody and everybody right now on the whole planet or universe, right? Everybody in the universe, alien, whatever you want to talk about, the whole fucking universe, they could all ask for help at the same time and all get help. There's not like, wait in line, you're number 30. Like, remember Beetlejuice?
Well, time
like,
is different.
What's that?
Like, time is different everywhere else. Like,
but I've been told it all works. Like, I don't know how it all works. I felt bad for a second. I've heard people say that, and like I don't like subscribe to that anymore, because I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. And if you are busy, please help another. I'm not trying to get in front of somebody that's got like a dying need, like they're gonna like die if they don't get the angels help. Like, I will never, like, it's not about that, but the angels always say it's not about that. We are here to help everybody whenever they need it, whenever they want it, whenever they ask for it. So I just ask, and I'm like, you know what? If they help, they help. If they don't, they don't. Like, that's okay. Like, whatever it is, you know?
yeah.
Parking angel, I need to get in front right now. Like, but I talk to them and intertwine with them always.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I haven't really tapped into that. So I'm not as familiar, but I know that when you talk about it and when you ask for their assistance, I can always feel it. So
oh, totally.
It's
yes.
It's amazing. So, but yeah. So today ever since I started working here, I've been wearing a black tourmaline for protection, to protect my energy, to keep me from negativity.
Talk about the tourmaline, because like, that's an interesting thing. Like, tourmaline is good for, and it's a stone or a rock. What is it?
Stone. It's actually, I pulled it up so I can tell you exactly without sounding like a dumbass.
No, but I mean, I have one too, but I'm just trying to remind myself of what it's good for. It's black, right? I have one.
Black. It says it's a shamanic stone providing protection during ritual work. But you can use it as a grounding crystal, meditation, healing. It soothes panic attacks, especially those caused by dark or confined spaces.
Okay.
You can wear it for protection against moaners, whiners, complaining, neighbors, or emotional vampires who burden you with their problems.
So just like you just take it around and you're like, like, it's almost like a sage, right?
Oh, but you just wear it. You don't really have to like wave.
No, I'm not saying that, but I feel like sometimes I'm all, get away.
Like, here, this isn't it, but anyway, you just like, I'm protected, stay away. But yeah, it actually has some pretty great things. It says in the workplace, you hold it to wake up your mind. It provides a shield against environmental pollutants like electromagnetic smog and radiations associated with cell phones and computers, which we all need these days.
It sounds like everybody needs to have one in their house, but that's just me.
Yeah, it strengthens your sense of smell, and is specifically used to treat motion sickness. So it's
Okay.
got a lot of things, but I've been wearing it just because I know that it's got a, it repels negativity. And where I'm at, I didn't want to come home with anything negative or anybody that was, you know, looking for a way out. I'd rather just help them there and not bring them home. So, but today I was wearing a blue suit instead of a black one. And so I put on this, which is not black tourmaline.
It looks blue on my end, but
it is blue.
where's
It's, what is this thing? Wait, oh, did I, okay, hit the wrong one, sorry. It is, and I'm probably gonna mangle this. It's lapis lazuli. You heard of it?
Yes, I have. I thought that was green, but that's a blue one. I mean, I'm not like, I mean, this is not my specialty by any means.
It's
I've
not
got a
mine
lot of
either.
stones and I love them. They look beautiful and I wish I knew. People are, that's beautiful. What is that? I'm all, I don't know, but it does something. I got it because it does something.
Yeah,
All of them, there's so many things, and then sometimes you can touch them and,
yeah.
like bathe in them almost. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I just touch them when I walk by. I mean, I don't know what they all mean sometimes, but
But
keep
you know how
going.
they feel.
Exactly. There's something about it, and sometimes I'll be drawn to it. I don't know
Mhm.
why, but I already know that I got it for a reason. So just even though that I have so many stones and I don't know what they all are, I would love to have one of my friends, somebody come on like our talk sometime to like talk about the stones and different things because I love stones and I've got, you know, you always bring one when you see me, all your
Thank
hearts.
you.
I like plant them around different areas of my whole work. I love it. It's like so rad. I love it. Well, one, I love stones, and two, I love hearts. And well, number one, I love you. I should go back.
Thanks.
Two, I love rocks. Three, I love, I mean, come on, I said it backwards, but you know what I mean? Like, I just love those and I put them in special places, but I don't always know what they mean. But I have that red one that you gave me, that one, the heart, and I keep it in my car and I touch it all the time. I'm in my car every day, right?
Right.
Touch it and do my little thing with it. And like, I love that one. There was something that I read about that one that really made me say, I heard the rock say, stone, put it in my car,
Right.
car. So
There
I
was
did.
one, there was one that like, you put under your pillow, right? Which
Yes, I did. And I don't remember which one that was, but I moved it after that because under my pillow, like I feel like I'm a wrestler at night. Like I'm like all over, like I'm like, I'm gonna lose this. And like, not that I'll lose it, it'll be somewhere in my room, but I
on the
want to
floor
know, like
somewhere.
I'm such a person, like I want my things in my place. So if I wake up and it's not there, I'm all, where's the stone? You know what I mean? Like I'm freaking out about it. So I'm like, put it in a legit place if I really need it. At that time when I was able to read that and like I put it under my pillow that night because I really needed that. I mean, I think I need it all the time, but I gotta find like a thing that I could do that I could have a pillow that I could put the rocks in if I want at night, and then know that they'd be safe because I feel like I'm gonna lose them. So that's why I don't do it that much. So you're right though, I did do that.
But yeah, I can definitely feel a difference today. Just when I was talking to people or really anything, there was actually a couple of times that I started crying. I just started tearing up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I should not be around people today. Like it just, something about this, like it made it so that I could speak very well. I mean, I didn't have to go looking for words or like having problems when I
Yeah,
was
it's
feeling.
beautiful. I wish I could see that. It looks like cobalt blue to me
It is
from here.
pretty here.
I would love to see it closer, but it's like a little bit lower than your heart. It almost feels like I'm not, but I'm thinking that, oh, that's gorgeous. And it's a heart.
Yeah.
Oh, then I see your heart. Like, okay, that was so cool. Your heart light that you have is in that. That looks rad. Okay,
Yeah.
that was a double heart. Moving back to you and your heart.
Yeah.
I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I love it too, but it made me just a little emotional today. And so it was one of those things where I'm like, I should have either worn both of them or done something else. But then I also realized, like, I've been wearing this ring. It's onyx, and I'm
So
not
you're just like putting all your like gear on, and then you're like
like
wondering,
trying
like,
so
girl,
hard.
why are all these things happening? You have like all your gear on. So I'm just saying, I'm already getting lots of hits right now. Like, this is probably why. Like, it's
Yeah.
just like you gotta like, it's almost like a thing where you gotta like figure out like all these amazing things are so great, but when you have all of them in, it's like it also attracts and repels, and then this and then that.
Yeah.
It's like
They all do
it's
something
a lot.
different.
So we need to have like a crystal expert on our next call, because I would love to hear about how do you all keep this all like organized, you know?
There's so many. I have no idea. And
I
even
don't either.
today, because I knew I wasn't going to have my black tourmaline, I have a bowl that has a bunch of the little heart stones in it.
Oh
And
yeah, I've seen that. I think yeah, show me that. Yeah, I love that. It's beautiful.
so on my way out the door today, I went to it. I just put my hand over it and I picked out three and was like, yeah, these feel right. I put them in my pocket and I don't know what they are. I don't know why I felt like it, but I put them in my pocket. I'm like, these guys will help protect me today because I'm not carrying my tourmaline.
Did you
So
feel any different or?
I just I took off my jacket halfway through the day and I didn't have pockets in anything else. So
I
the
have to have
morning,
my purse as like a 30-pound bag on me because I have so many things. Like I'm like all, oh my, like everybody's like all what? I'm like I gotta have all these things. I don't know where to put them because I do that and like then I lose them. I'm all if I took those 3 rocks, I'd be all I'm gonna wait, put one here, put one there, and like by the end of the day they're gone. I'm like no, I lost them.
I actually considered putting them in my bra.
Why
They're
ever not
little.
consider? Wait, if you're a girl, you do. That's what you do. That's what you do.
I know. I didn't do it, but I really thought about it. I was like, I should. I'm like, no, I'll just keep them in my pocket. But it did make me a little emotional. I definitely did not remember to put my energy bubble up so I wasn't absorbing
I,
even
I,
my manager's energy. He's fantastic. I love the guy. He's just so high energy that I feel like I'm out of breath when he's done talking for like 5 minutes. I'm like, okay.
because you're an empath and you're just picking up on his like anxiety. So he's got anxiety, right?
Yeah.
So
He's
you're like trying to
high
like
energy guy.
suck up his air and like you're like oh my god. And so that's an interesting topic because that's a whole nother call. Like I
Yeah.
mean, we talk about so many things. We'll have to talk about it another time. I have so many things to say about that because you're like sucking in his stuff. It's not you, it's him. But
Yeah.
you know,
And I've been
we'll
doing,
talk about it another time. Tomorrow we'll call. You know.
yeah, definitely. I've been doing really well, not absorbing his stuff and being protected and non-reactive and, not bringing anything nasty home. So it's been going well. I've had a few instances at work, which thank goodness I've had some pretty funny, positive interactions. So
With the
with
living or the
no, the loved ones that the living are burying, which is
okay, so the
heartbreaking.
ones that have passed.
Yeah,
So that's cool. So
yeah.
what I
I
mean, do you
don't.
want to talk about more of that or
Well, we're actually kind of running short on time because I have to go feed my kid dinner.
okay, I get that. I know we always try to like connect and we've always got so many things going. I totally get that. Do you
I
feel
just
like you
miss
need
you so
anything?
much.
What's that?
I just miss you so much. Like we haven't been catching up lately. So like all
I
day long,
know.
I'd be like, I've got to call her today. There's just so much energy. We need to get together and tell you my stories.
And sometimes just like flush it out. And sometimes people don't get that. Like my brother's a paramedic fireman, and like my nephew, and I know a lot of nurses, and they have so many stories, but they don't all like look at it in the sense that we do. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there's just like an openness to like just being like something about that. Like I've heard some people that on those, you know, situations that I've seen souls like leave bodies.
Yes.
They're not, they don't
They're
consider
not
themselves. Yeah, they're just like, I saw a soul leave a body. And I'm like, I mean, I was in the medical field, you know, before I started doing what I do 17 years ago. And like, it's like so gnarly, like to feel like like I could not take that job when I was in high school. I wanted to do it. I was going to be an ER nurse. And I just had too much empathy that I couldn't handle it. I was feeling too much of their pain. I didn't know that then, but now I do. And especially talking with you now, I'm like, I feel it. Makes you take like a deep breath, right? Because I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't do it. I can't do it. It's just too much for me. Like when I was in like my schooling to do it, and I was in the medical field, but there was one of the jobs they said, Janaea, we need you. And I would just have to go do my little like, Janaea, go do the vitals. The vitals mean blood pressure,
right,
pulse, and a couple other things. And I would just stay there because I was in an old home doing my internship. And I just wanted to talk to them. And these people just were talking to me, and I just couldn't leave them. You know, I just wanted to like, I was just supposed to do this, but I can't, like, and I'm all, this isn't the job for me, because I would never, like, I would be bad, and I'm like a badass when it comes to work, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait. I'm talking, you know, like, because I wanted to hear their stories. No, I didn't. They were these old people that were on their way out, and they didn't have people visiting them, and not that I knew that, but I could feel it, and it was so much emotion, and I just I wanted to hear their stories, and I wanted them to talk and just be free. And it's a hard situation. I mean, you know, it's an interesting thing to be an empath and like feel that, but also there's so much gifts that we can give to them because we have that, and like, and a lot of people out there do, and it's just like, that's such a gift to give back to those people that just want to be heard. They just want you to listen to them and sit there and be like, that's so awesome. I mean, I just would touch their hand and like let them know I was there to hear what they had to say.
Yeah, exactly. I know in what I've been doing, like I've always known I was clairvoyant, but I didn't realize how clairaudient I am as well.
Yes.
So I'm sitting with people and I can hear their loved ones telling me things, and I'm trying not to laugh because most of them are actually very entertaining. So
well, exactly, but it might be, I mean, so the situation you're in is a little bit different than me because people come to me for that, but they don't for you. So it's a little bit interesting, but I've been in situations where I'm like, oh, should I say something? Because I feel somebody coming through and they're saying, so it's a little bit interesting being in your situation, because if you were in like somebody that they were coming to ask about that, it's different. But when they're not, but sometimes it's like, then you have to take your intuition to the next level and go, then you ask, are they okay hearing this?
Yeah, and the position I'm in right now, I don't feel that I could actually approach them and say, oh, hey, you know, your loved one says this. I just can't do that without jeopardizing the job.
Yes, I've heard that before, and I've done that even with me.
Yeah.
So I have personal training clients that don't know that I do the other stuff. Not that I hide it, but they don't see me for that. They don't even know. They don't even, you know, recognize that that's something I do.
Yeah.
And it's something I won't say to them. And it's interesting to be like, tell them, not tell them, tell them, not tell them, kind of thing.
Well,
you know,
here's a good example. This one gentleman, I'll call him.
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
passed, his family had come. I'd spent a few days with them. They were wonderful people. The second day, he really started chatting me up, making jokes. At the end, I walk them to the front door and they're all leaving. We're saying goodbye.
Wait, who chatted you up? The person on the other side, or okay.
Yeah. But he kept saying, hug my mom, hug my mom. And I'm like, I can't. I would love to. I'm a big hugger. I would love to.
Me too.
But the entire family showed up with masks. That if I were to just be like, hey, can I hug you? It might be not a good idea. So I told him, like, in our little chat, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. I cannot jeopardize my job like this. So I didn't, but he was so emphatic. Please hug my mom. Hug my mom. She needs it. I'm like, I know, and I wish I could, but I can't.
And you didn't?
No.
I wonder what would have happened. There's nothing wrong with what you did because of the whole pandemic and everything going on. Like, you don't do that anymore. Like, that's not like, because I'm a huge hugger, but back in the day, like, if I would have heard that, I'd be like, yeah, but
You're
today
like, okay,
I wanted to, but today I wanted to hug or like not hug her, but handshake my neighbor. But I almost like didn't do that. Like I didn't. Like, I'm like, I can't hug, I just, I'm like, it's so kind of awkward. But I'm just saying that's interesting that spirit came through saying that, because I think you would have been okay. But I mean, don't feel bad about not doing it, because I think I would have done the same thing today. Like I like I said, I didn't handshake my neighbor, even though we've like finally like met like face to face. Like we were like, oh, like, oh, good to, you know what I mean? But I was like, and I was like, I'm a hugger. I'm like, and then I do a good hug. I don't do a tap, get off me hug. I hate that. I'm like, don't even touch me. That was back pre-COVID though. Like, I mean, I'm just talking about that. But anyways, I get what you're saying. That's interesting. It is an interesting place to be, but it's interesting because I do that work, and people hire me to do that work with the energy shifting stuff and talking to people on the other side. And at the same time, I have people that are paying me for other services that comes through for, that I still don't necessarily feel like I'm supposed to say anything.
Right.
Because sometimes they're not open or ready for it. So if they're not, then you can't do it. So then that's when you have to be an empath. You have to check in with them. Are they ready? Then you check in with them, and then they're like, yeah, their soul says they're ready. Then I can say the words, because I've done it before. I've done it numerous times, but you can't do it all the time.
Exactly.
So I feel you on that. And I know that you're like newly kind of getting into the swirl of it all, but you're doing really good. And this is a really big test to be at a funeral home. I mean, do I call it that? Or
it's a funeral home. I also work at a cemetery. Is that the right wording?
And to be like in this situation, because I'm like, I could just imagine you're like, I'm like you're not coming in like that, so you can't like, you're not advertising that, so you got to be smart. Like, I was just camping, and with my boyfriend and his family that did this like 30 years of this trip, right? And like I'm connected with some people, and I was like, the last night somebody like comes, like we've been hanging out for the last couple of days, and all of a sudden his dad comes through. Wow. gnarly stuff. And then his mom comes through, and all this stuff. I say all these things. So this is my thing. I don't remember things a lot when I say it, because it's not my information. It's not my, I don't need to like, I don't want to see somebody else next and then know all their business. So I feel like the universe has done this thing where they give me the information, I say it, and then the next time they're like, yeah, I remember, yeah, it's good. I'm all, wait, what'd you say? Like, it looks like I'm an airhead, but it's because I don't remember their business.
Yeah.
So I tell them all the information, it comes through. So the next day, the wife tells me of him, thank you so much for, and I'm all, and this was like a day later, so I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm all, huh, what are you talking? And then, but it helped him because he was so, he had a block and a close and a this and that. And the 30-second thing that she said thank you to me for, which I mean, I don't need a thank you or anything, but I was like, oh my God, like I had almost forgotten about it. Like I didn't even know he remembered it, right? Like I'm not even thinking about it again. And it like blew his world, like in the sense that he needed to hear that message because his mom and dad came through to me. I'm just a conduit.
Yeah.
Saying the information. I am not, it's not my thoughts. I do not know this person. I am not trying to give them like information that I think they want to hear. And I told her, thank you so much for saying that, because sometimes it's very awkward to tell somebody who's not coming to me for a session this information, because sometimes they don't want to hear it and they're like voodoo, magic, or uncomfortable, weirded out. So I have to then feel out the information and go, okay, I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. And so sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good. Like, it just depends, on the situation.
Yeah.
So I get where you're at, is what I'm saying.
Is that Trixie or is that me? Do you hear it?
I do not. But it probably is on your end. So I love you. I can't wait to talk to you again. Always. Like, I've got so many more things I want to talk to you about. I've got a friend that I'd love to get on this session, or our talk, because she's got some cool things that I've heard about what's going on with her. So you know how it always is. Every time we talk, there's always some mystical, magical things coming up. So I would love for you to meet her. She might be coming by in the next few days. So hit me up if you're around.
Okay, I will. I'll probably call tomorrow. I mean, we'll see.
Whenever works. I would love to talk to you. Always.
You too. And I hate to run, but I'm hearing something in the background here, so I don't know if it's me.
No, get it. Get on it. Yeah. There's no reason to be worried. We've been yakking off for days. I love you.
It sounds kind of funny, but I'll try to reconnect later.
All right. Bye.
Love you. Bye.